February 6th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. I saw the full parking lot out there and was wondering what was going on. I don't know where everybody's parked for, but they're apparently not in here. The first item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which we have the approval of the minutes and a number of 115211s. Mike, go ahead, sir.
Hey, good evening, Commissioners. Mike Jeffries, City of Fairhope. So on the consent agenda tonight, we have cases UR 2501 through UR 2505 and the approval of the minutes. I'll run through. The conditions of approval are the same for all 5 of these, and we'll hit on just a little bit. If there's anything I need to go over or reiterate, please let me know. They're all AT&T utility reviews as well. So
Does anybody have any questions? I know Eric's got a comment. Everybody's fine on the consent agenda as is, then nothing needs to be pulled out? Okay. If there are no questions or concerned about the consent agenda, no corrections on the approval of the minutes? Yes, sir.
I got a little problem. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we constantly approve these requests, yet they will not take care of their business that they've already laid in the ground or on the ground. I'm getting a little tired of it. I'm getting tired of the phone calls where when is AT&T coming to bury this line? When is AT&T going to take care of this box? And until we quit rubber stamping these and make them do this, they're never going to quit. They'll just lay it in front of your yard for 2 years, a year and a half, whatever it all takes. So to me, I'd rather table every one of these. That'd be my vote, until they take and show that they have taken care of all of the lines that are a problem in this town.
Is anyone here with AT&T? I believe they are. And I will say, Councilman Boone, you weren't here. You just rolled on a couple of months ago. Right before you did, we had that kind of, I'll call it a come to Jesus meeting with C-Spire, and they stopped showing up for questions. We had some citizens here to ask questions, and they were held over until that got here. So if there's any questions about any of these, and we need to hold them off, I think
That's what I would recommend, is to tell them point blank, until they take care of the business that they've already done, they're not getting anything accepted.
I feel
And
uncomfortable.
show us that they've done
Right.
it, not just to take their word for it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I didn't know. I know you, being a councilman, get a lot more comments like that. What do you say, rather than deny them, we postpone
Just
these
table it.
until the next meeting, table until the next meeting, based upon an AT&T representative being here, then if a representative's not here, we'll, deny it until that point. We're kind of,
And again, I need documentation that these lines have been taken care of and where they did it.
okay.
May I ask, Councilman? The locations of where they are, one of the things we've run into in the past is we've got C-Spire out there, we got Mediacom out there, we've got AT&T out there, trying to figure out whose is what and what the issues are. One of the things, if you get those calls, please make sure you forward them to us, because we have, or David Thomas, so we can go look and see what's actually going on, because sometimes the citizens are maybe a little misinformed, sometimes they're dead on right. So we have an accurate idea of what you're hearing, if you'll help us with that.
I'd also point out that some of those concerns where you mentioned a broken AT&T box or a line that was laying across the driveway doesn't necessarily stem from these large projects where they're going in and burying all the underground fiber. A lot of those are a line
I know it
cut.
doesn't stem from that, but nothing's making them do it. You can call them till you're blue in the face.
Right.
And they will not do one thing, they don't address your problems, they don't come and bury the line, they don't do anything. And I can give
Understood.
you 2 documented cases anytime you like.
And I do. Yeah. I think there's a limitation of the utility review.
Right.
But certainly more leverage in the permitting.
Sure.
Now, I do think it's wise to have a representative here that can talk about some big picture challenges, because as we discussed in the past, specifically AT&T are not locating things. So when other companies are working, they're hitting it and then getting those repaired is taking quite some time. While we have customers that I know have escalated to both myself and council and other calls, and I think it'd be wise to have that conversation, just working in the right of ways within the city of Fairhope.
Sure.
And discuss what we can do to better serve our citizens.
And I do think it's fair to table it as opposed to just denying them outright,
Yeah, I'm not
particularly
looking
to
to do
give
that.
them the opportunity to address any concerns or questions y'all have on these specific projects or lingering other issues too, to have a representative present. So I don't have a problem with that.
And Councilman Boone, if you don't mind, I'll give you a call this week and see some specific concerns. We'll at least give them a chance to be prepared for some of them.
Absolutely.
And we can get that to their representative if anybody else has any concerns. If you'll reach out to me, I'll be happy to forward those.
Fantastic. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from December 2nd, unless there are any corrections that need to be made?
I move we approve the minutes of December 2nd as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Can I get a, Chris? Hey, Chris, can I get a motion to postpone the remainder of the consent agenda, or do I need to do it item by item?
I would be okay, since they're on a consent agenda, doing it all together, but let's just state the case numbers for all
Okay.
together, so it's clear.
All right,
I move we table UR 25.01, UR 25.02, UR 25.03, UR 25.04, and UR 25.05 until the next meeting.
do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I've got a motion, a second, to table UR 2501 through 2505 until the next meeting. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. All right, moving on to the regular agenda. I see no old business. First item on the new business is SR 2501.
Good evening. This is for Waffle House at Lot 10 at Encounter Development. And we have a representative, Mr. Eric Haves from Waffle House here as well. I will say that everything complies with the zoning ordinance in this case, so if we don't have to go through every slide, we won't. That's Lot 10 in Encounter Development.
We've seen the encounter development
Lots.
quite a bit, a lot, so.
So a lot of it's the same verse, second as the first, or same as the first, whatever. This is what it looks like. This is the site plan. Like I said, it does comply with everything. There's one condition that we're putting on it because they are relocating a tree. It's at the entrance here. And we want to be able to, here's this relocation right here, assess the health of that relocated tree at final inspection, and if it's not up to the standards of the horticulturist from the city, then we're gonna ask the applicant or mandate they replace it with a tree of the same species and same size. And that's the only condition.
And those were the trees that were street trees that were installed as part of the
Right.
encounter development.
It
So
keeps
they've
on
had about
happening.
3 years of it getting established, so.
Yeah.
You can move that tree, probably be fine, but just as a safeguard.
Yep. And that's the only condition. If,
Do you have any, from the Waffle House, do you have anything to add at this time?
I have nothing to add, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you may have it, if you have any.
Okay, I'll go ahead. This is technically a public hearing. I don't think I see anybody out there who's gonna,
Nope.
oh, it's not a public hearing?
But, yeah, it's a site
Okay.
plan review. So this is a
I think so.
recommendation to the city council for a site plan
Okay.
approval.
Any questions for our Waffle House representative while we're here? All right.
Cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, just in case.
We know it's going to be yellow.
yeah, it's gonna look the same.
All right. All right, if there are no further questions, I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion that the Planning Commission recommend approval of SR 25.01 with the condition of the health of the relocated tree and verifying that to the city council for approval.
Second.
As well as the rest of the staff recommendations.
That was the only one.
That was the only
Was
one,
it?
I think,
Okay.
yes.
All right, I have a motion, a second, to approve, subject to the conditions of the health of the tree. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is SD 2421.
Okay. This is a very simple subdivision regulation amendment. It actually adds 4 words to the zoning ordinance. It is related to the next item on the subdivision regulations. It is related to the next item on the agenda, but just on screen is highlighted as what we're changing. In 2019, you approved the ability of the water and sewer superintendent to amend Division 3 of the standard specifications for water and sewer, do that administratively. We're adding, similar to the way we did for Chapter 19 of the city ordinance, we're adding this as amended language so that if it's just a tweak to that, they just have to post that on the website and be approved. So that amendment is as simple as it gets. Of course, we recommend approval of that. This would be final vote. It is a public hearing, so we'll follow this one and move to the next agenda item when you see fit.
All right, in that case, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at this time. Anybody from the public wish to speak to this item? All right, in that case, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, this is not a recommendation to the city council. This one lives and dies with us. Any comments, questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve as written.
I have one question. In the as amended refers to the document that we have right now. That's the amendments that are in there. The only question I have is, like, if there are future amendments or they decide to add details, stuff like that, would that come here, or is that something that you're allowed to add to that?
Let me give a
as a
quick
living
summary.
document, you can grow.
Historically, the whole document had to come, every amendment had to come to the planning commission to bless
Got
any
it.
changes.
That's what I was
In
curious about.
2019, the planning commission, with the support of the water and sewer, let pretty much the technical specifications, you know, pipe size, materials, things like that, that can be administratively, however, make sure you update the document, make it publicly available.
Okay.
Sections 1 and 2, which is roughly about the first 15 pages that we'll discuss in the next amendment, deal with area and application requirements. Those still will come to you. So
Yeah.
that's
Well, no,
historically what
That was my
changed.
question. It's going to be kind of a living document that can be upgraded as we see the need to upgrade it, and that's what the as amended allows it to do. Okay. That's right. Good deal.
As we were amending this other thing, we felt,
Sure.
you know, that removes any clarification.
Okay.
Do you want to follow that up with a motion if you're satisfied, Aaron?
Sure. Hold on, let me get back to it. Yes, I will make a motion to approve SD 2421, the language for the amendment to the subdivision regulations as presented.
Do I have a second? Second. All right, any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification,
Did I
it's a
say-
new year, 2025-01.
Shit.
Just trying to keep us precise there. 2025-01, I think is how it's titled, right?
That is the resolution.
Resolution number.
That would be.
SD 2421 is what
The resolution number is different from the case number.
Really? Okay.
The
Well, that's
case
not
number-
complicated at all. All right, well, let's make sure then that let's just clarify
And that's
that
fine.
for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I recommend approval of 2025-01, as presented for amendment to the subdivision regulations.
Okay, and we got the second. All right, with nothing further,
SD 20.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Then SD 2503, public hearing to accept resolution 2025-02.
Okay, so this was the prompt. This is actually an amendment to the Division 1 and Division 2 of those construction standards for the Water and Sewer Department. And in general, what this boils down to is a pretty quick, and the full amendments listed in the resolution in your packet. We just gave a sample here. In the general information, the way that has historically read, take that first sentence, it says applications for approval to construct wastewater facilities and or water distribution facilities within, historically, that would say the planning jurisdiction of the city of Fairhope. So as y'all know, the evolution of SB 107 and all the state laws that changed, the water and sewer specs needed to be changed to deal with the language. So it says now within the city of Fairhope or the Fairhope Public Utility Service area. The other thing that was added was Sometimes those applications are ultimately coming to the City of Fairhope Planning Commission, which is historically the only thing that's happened, but you'll see the last sentence added, the Baldwin County Planning Commission as appropriate. So that's in general what this amendment is about to those specifications. Because of the upsizing language that currently resides in the subdivision regulations, the water and sewer specifications added one last section in that Division 2 that talks about any upgrades and cost of those and how they will be evaluated. It's a very general statement, but it kind of gets to the point of what cost may be if they're outside the area and how they'll be evaluated. So as Eric said, there's a lot of evaluations of our utilities going on right now. We may be back looking at regulation amendments that touch all these subdivision regulations, construction standards, these divisions 1 and 2. But right now, this is just to try to clear up the jurisdictional language.
Perfect.
Okay.
Any questions for staff at this time?
And this is.
In that case, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak to SD 2503? The change of the definition of basically territory for our water. In that case, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners? Entertain a motion if there are no more questions.
I move we approve SD 25-03, changes to the subdivision regulations.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Did we mess something up, Chris?
So too.
Same thing as the last one,
It's,
isn't it?
it's the same thing as the last one, just for clarification. So it's case number, and I apologize.
2025.
Eric, you're right. It's case number SD 25.03, resolution number 2025-02.
Okay.
I move we
Got that,
Or
Madam
just a
Secretary?
Resolution of,
Okay,
Got to say it all.
all right. Got it. All right. Nothing further on our agenda. In that case, I will accept a motion to adjourn. Yes. Oh, I thought we said a motion. Oh. All right. I'm trying to set a record. All right. In that case, if there's no further, thank you, Chris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. If there's nothing further, may I have a motion to,
I move we adjourn.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.